Welcome back to Chapter 2 of our series, Retire Comfortably, Planning at Any Age. In this episode, titled The Math, How Much Do You Really Need?, we're going to break down the numbers behind your retirement savings and help you understand how to calculate what you'll need to support your ideal lifestyle. So, let's dive in. Roughly half of Americans in their early 60s have retirement accounts that wouldn't buy a modest house. You're at the kitchen table, bills spread out, asking, is this enough? Or am I way off? In this episode, we'll unpack why that question is simpler and stranger than it seems. A 55-year-old with $200,000 and a 30-year runway might already be on track, while a 40-year-old with $400,000 and big lifestyle expectations could be behind. The twist is that enough isn't a single dollar amount. It's a moving target built from a few key numbers that belong to you, not to some generic rule of thumb. In this episode, we'll zoom in on those numbers, what you actually spend in a year, how hard your money can realistically work after inflation, and how long it might need to last. Instead of treating your retirement number like a mysterious verdict handed down by a calculator, we'll treat it like a recipe. Adjust one ingredient, spending, returns, or timeline, and the whole dish changes. By the end, you'll see why a 25 times rule of thumb is just the starting sketch, not the finished blueprint. Forget the glossy, million-dollar headlines for a moment. The real story is that two people with the same balance can have completely different outlooks once you factor in Social Security, healthcare, and how flexible they are willing to be. Think of this section as zooming out from a single snapshot to a full movie of your financial life. We're going to layer in the pieces most online calculators either bury or ignore, how other income streams shrink the gap, how rising health costs widen it, and how small course corrections today can save you from drastic sacrifices later. Here's where the math stops feeling abstract and starts getting personal. Start with the part you can see, your own cash flow. Instead of asking, what will I spend at 67? Look at how money moves through your life right now. Take your current annual outflow and strip out things that probably vanish later: commuting, the mortgage if it'll be paid off, child-related costs. Then add things that likely swell: travel, hobbies, and those health bills that don't show up much in your 40s but loom larger later. You're not chasing precision, you're defining a ballpark that belongs to your lifestyle, not to an average. Now layer in your cushion for the unknowns. The Fidelity Health Estimate isn't a bill you get on your 65th birthday. It's a reminder that medical costs will likely arrive unevenly. Some people build the specific health bucket or plan for higher late-life spending rather than assuming perfectly flat expenses. Others accept variability and plan to flex, downsizing housing, tapping home equity, or dialing back optional spending if costs spike. Then, confront the part most people quietly avoid: risk tolerance. If markets slump early in retirement, withdrawing too aggressively can permanently shrink your pool. That's why the 4% idea is a starting setting on the dial, not the factory lock. A more conservative approach might mean aiming for 3 to 3.5% or planning to tighten the belt temporarily after bad years instead of blindly sticking to a fixed raise every January. The real return piece connects directly to this. Higher expected returns usually mean a bumpier ride, which demands more emotional resilience and flexibility. Lower, steadier expectations might require saving more now, working a bit longer, or spending less later, but can be easier to actually live with. Finally, acknowledge the timing wildcard. You don't know exactly how long you'll need this money. That uncertainty is why many people plan as if they'll live longer than average and keep some growth-oriented investments even after they stop working. You're not just trying to arrive at retirement with a certain balance. You're trying to manage the path of that balance through an uncertain future. You can pressure test your numbers by running small, concrete what-if drills instead of trying to solve everything in one giant spreadsheet. Suppose you're aiming for $60,000 a year from your portfolio. Sketch 3 versions of your future self: one who works part-time for a few years, one who spends more in the first decade of retirement, and one who deliberately undershoots that $60,000 and keeps some slack. Watch how each version changes the size of the nest egg you'd need and how soon you could step back from full-time work. To keep the math from feeling abstract, treat your plan like adjusting the heat under a pot. Turn the dial up, accept more volatility, spend more early, retire sooner, and you'll need to monitor it more closely and be ready to turn it back down if it boils over. Turn it down, save more now, spend more modestly, extend your earning years, and things cook slower but with less risk of burning. Testing multiple heat settings on paper now helps you find the one you can actually live with when life stops following the recipe. Longevity and uncertainty turn the math into more of a moving story than a single equation. As tools get better, you'll be able to see thousands of possible futures, not just one plan, and adjust in real time, raising or lowering withdrawals the way a pilot trims altitude in shifting winds. That also means your plan can evolve with new careers, relocations, or family needs, not just market swings. So the question becomes, how many PABs would still get you to a life you'd accept? Your number isn't a verdict, it's a draft. As your life shifts, moves, partners, kids, priorities, the math should flex with it. Think seasonal menus, new ingredients, same kitchen. Your challenge this week: test one concrete change, like retiring 2 years later or trimming one expense category, and note how it reshapes your earliest workable retirement year. This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!